So quite a lot of the participants were saying that they saw you outside practising in the cathedral grounds this morning. And what is your attitude with practice now?
I think I practice more now than I used to.
Yeah?
But I certainly practice better now than I used to.
Okay.
You know, it's... But...
I mean, you practice every day. You touch the guitar every day, you're playing every day. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, every day.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't practice yesterday.
You were travelling.
But yeah, I mean, every normal day, especially if I'm home, I'll put in maybe 4 hours. You know, it's but it seems a lot. But you know, if you think of somebody who works in an office, they sit there a lot longer than that. You know, sharpening pencils, or I don't know, they must be doing something. You know, so 4 hours goes by really quickly if you kind of divide it up into not projects, but kind of modules. You know, so I usually have at least half an hour on kind of technique or technical stuff. I mean, I may be playing a piece, but I'm doing it for technique.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, even if I play some Bach or something, but Bach that is simple. It doesn't mean it's easy, but you know, but something like that. Although it's a difficult piece when you put it all together, but note by note, it's not actually very hard. So I use sometimes things like that, but most of the time I do. And usually I'll do a couple of minutes in this hand, a couple of minutes in this hand, a couple of minutes, and just so that the warm-up process is fairly careful.
Okay.
And you want to kind of get your fingers a little bit tired, but not kind of rigid tired, just like get them oiled.
Yeah, not fatigued.
Not fatigued, that's right. For me anyway, it's much more important as you get older. You know, when you're a young kid and it's summer, I think you pick up the guitar, it doesn't really matter what you do, your fingers will do fine. But as you get older, you want to look after things a lot more. And really, I'm lucky, I haven't had any injuries. And so I do take care to not go suddenly into a deep, difficult
launch
deep
into
end.
something.
That's right. So that might take half an hour, and if I'm kind of inspired, I might do it longer. Yeah. And if I'm playing pieces that have got lots of scales, then maybe I'll do quite a lot of scale work. And usually the way I do it is divide it into little bits. You know, full scales, that's fine, but that's actually a whole lot of problems all stuck together. So if you're going to do G major, it would be better just to do this. That's all the parts of G major that you're going to find in a piece of music. And then you do it maybe a little bit longer. Never faster than is comfortable. You know, if you start and you go, all you've done is put bad information into your body. Better rub that one out. You know, so every time you mess up, you've actually given your body bad information, and every time you do it well, you've given your body good information. So, you know, the more times you do it well, the better it's going to be the next time. You know, you repeat it on purpose. You know, repetition is vital, but good repetition. You know, that's why in France, rehearsal, they call it repetition. I mean, it's just normal that. So then you've got a few things like, for example, apoyando, rest stroke, free stroke, or starting with index. Starting with M. You know, because sometimes in the piece of music you have no choice. I prefer scales that go 2 by 2, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. I prefer to start with I. That's more comfortable for me. But sometimes you can't, so you have to do. That's ending in M, and some ending in A. You know, and then you do some apoyando. Just kind of, so if you make your technique modular, that is, I need this, and you've got your big piece of music, and it goes, and it's a scale of G major, but starting on the F and finishing on the D. Got it?
Yeah, of
right.
course.
You know, you have the. It's a bit like, I don't know if you've been watching Wimbledon. You know?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Well, Nadal doesn't practice by playing. He practices 1,000 he's 1,000 there. So when the ball goes that, he knows he's going to hit it.
Yeah.
It's stroke number 27. Because he's got it in his body, but he doesn't have to invent it then.
Yeah,
so if you've got that in your body, then when it comes, you don't have to teach yourself to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I should really tell the story from the beginning. I had a friend called Dennis Milne, and Dennis was a double bass player. And when I got to London to study, I'd lived in Spain, and so I didn't really feel very Scottish. But as soon as I opened my mouth, they said, "Oh, you're Scottish. You go with those guys. You go with the other ones." And Dennis was big. He looked like the guy on the porridge oats.
Oh yeah.
He was really strong, ginger hair, and strong guy, really nice man. And he kind of took me under his wing. We were in the same year. And I said, "You come with him." And we played lots of concerts together, and it was a lot of fun with him. And he went for 6 months to Canada to study with Gary Carr.
Oh wow!
He was a fantastic double bass player. And when he came back, Dennis was so much better. It was just amazing, really. His quality of playing, it's a huge jump. He said, "Oh, I have been doing all these studies, you know." And he said, none of those big ones, you know. I just do these wee things. And it's just, so he basically reduced everything down to the essence, you know, and not mix things. So it's like your technique is not to do with music. The technique is made up of a whole lot of little building blocks. And if one is missing, the next line is going to be wonky. Yeah. And then the third line is going to crumble. So if one of the basic building blocks doesn't work, then you've got to make it work. So say we go to the left hand. If you're, so accuracy is absolutely vital, not strength. So do none of this stuff. This is useless. You learn accuracy. Then you go to this hand and you go. That's easy. Now. I am. Other way around. Am I? Mm-hmm. And I do this many mornings. Mm-hmm. Then I am. Am I am. They've got to sound the same. Because it's a bit like learning to walk. Because if it's easier for you to go right, left, but then when you go left, right, you hop, you're going to limp. You're learning to limp. So if you can do I am very easily, but am I is difficult, then you're going to limp musically. Yeah. So you get that sorted out, and so on. All the absolutely basic things. So before you can go, you've got to be able to go. Okay. Like you know how percussionists are. You know if you have a friend who's a percussionist, don't share flat with them. Because they spend the whole day going. Oh shit, man. Boy, are they exact. When, you know, they go, and they're, you know, really tight. Yeah. Because that's all they need to do. They sit there for 20 minutes and the conductor goes, and they go, and they do it. You know, well, we have to do basically the same, you know, like short elements of dagadam. Let's say, okay, something like that. Yeah. By the time someone has finished the first bar, I don't know if they're good or not. Yeah. I mean, it sounds terrible to say that, but, and it's not because whether they hit the notes or not, it's how well did you do the, you know, or the quality of is vital. Yeah. You know, if that is going to like not very clean or something, you know, the techniques they're struggling with something. Yeah. So if I'm struggling with something like that, go right down to the very basic line of building blocks and try and fix it. Okay. Every day. Yeah.